Hi, I'm Heather from here booktubes, and today is my Love in the Night Readathon TBR. So this is hosted by quite a few of my friends, and I participated in the last round. All the hosts will be linked in the description, but I had a lot of fun the last round, and I want to participate again, even though I am a mood reader and tend not to do TBRs. Now, this TBR is fully laughable. I have more books on this TBR than I read in the first 2 weeks of May. So I feel like it's highly questionable whether or not I would actually get to these. But I went ahead and picked a different book for every prompt anyways, but I will try to let you know the ones that could fit multiple prompts in case you want to put it in a different prompt or you want to double up, etc., etc. Plus, even if I don't read all of the books on my TBR, I won't. I do fully plan on doubling up the ones I do end up reading to get that solid bingo, so that's what I'm gonna do. But I went ahead and picked a book for every single prompt, and who knows which ones I will get to. So for the demon prompt, I picked Shadows, which is The Dark in You, book 5 by Suzanne Wright. The first 4 books follow the same couple, Knox and Harper. Knox is the most powerful demon in the world. Harper is his anchor. And then this one follows one of Harper's friends and one of Knox's sentinels, which they don't get along at all. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't remember exactly which ones this follows. I'm gonna look it up. Okay, this follows Devin and Tanner. So she's a Hellcat and he's a Hellhound, and their demons literally are not compatible. So the people really are attracted to each other and like each other, and the demons are like, oh no. No. So they pester each other quite a bit through the first 4 books that follow this other couple. Now this is their romance. I am curious to see how she reconciles their demons, because that has been an obvious hurdle that she said would not be overcomable. So I'm curious to see how she overcomes it. I really enjoyed this series, but I am kind of looking forward to reading this one because it is a standalone about this couple. So they get their full happily ever after in the first book, and I'm excited for it. She gets kidnapped, there's a serial killer loose, they're driving themselves crazy, yada yada yada. So I think he's going to kind of become her bodyguard after she gets kidnapped, so love that. This could obviously also fulfill the sequel prompt, but I'm using it for demon. Then for different format, I went ahead and chose manga. I thought about doing audiobook because I never listen to audiobooks, and then I was like, no, I don't want to go that far outside my comfort zone. And the one I was thinking about, my library didn't have, and I was like, no, okay, no. So I picked Sacrificial, Princess and the King of Beasts, which is a manga. He is an actual beast, I believe, and she is kind of the sacrifice or the arranged marriage or whatever, but she actually likes him. I don't know how much of that plays out in the first volume because manga are really short. It's almost like the first 5 chapters of a book, something like that. And not even quite that much because of all the art obviously takes place over text. So I don't know what all happens in the first volume, but it does come highly recommended by Chace, who is one of the hosts. I bought it way back in March, and I'm really looking forward to finally reading it. For author of color, I picked Hot as Hades by Alisha Rai. This is a Southern Asian author, and this is the literal god and goddess, Hades and Persephone, so it does count as paranormal. It would also count for demon, or at least I think you could make it fit. So she like falls in his lap, and that's kind of all I need to know. For the witch prompt, I'm going to go with The Plan Commences, which is The Rising number 2 by Kristen Ashley. So this could, again, fulfill the sequel prompt. This one, I don't necessarily recommend if you're not already a fan of Kristen Ashley, because the first book, one, there's a lot of over-the-top things that you might not be comfortable with if you don't already know the author, I feel like. And then also, it follows so many points of view. It's very different from a lot of her other books in that way. And so I wouldn't start with this if you haven't read her before. But I did enjoy the first one, and I'm very curious to see where everything goes. So I'm gonna read the second one. It is a fantasy romance more so than paranormal, but like they're all witches. the four most powerful witches have to be married to the four most powerful warriors, and it's prophesied, and like the fates picked the couples, so they didn't pick their couples, and like they know they have to marry each other to save the world, but what they don't realize is it's really them falling in love that saves the world. And so they are getting married on purpose to save the world, but they're growing affections. They don't know that like they need to nurture that. So that's an interesting spin. Then officially for sequel, I have Stolen, which is Tribes #2 by Milana Jax. This is an over-the-top, alien, smutty, alpha, wild, wacky, bizarre series. And they don't have any women, so their females have died off. There was like a plague or something. And one of the things that they do when they do get a female is there is this big elaborate competition, and the female is the prize. And in this one, instead of her being the prize for the competition, like she is the prize for the competition, I think he's going to steal her. So there's that, is human woman crash landing on the planet. And then the group book is Deal with the Demon by Chace Verity. So I've already read this book, but I do plan on rereading it. I really enjoyed it. It's basically a demon house husband helping a single mom of 2 teenagers. And he's so sweet. I love him so much. The author does write queer lit, so almost all of her characters are going to fall under somewhere in the LGBTQ plus community. And Deal with the Demon is no exception. It was short and sweet and lovely, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it could double up as demon or the LGBTQ plus prompt, but I do just have it as the group book for now. And then for host favorite, I think that you could argue that Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts counts, but specifically I'm going to go with Tamika's pick, which is their Vampire Queen series, and I am going to read Queen Takes Triune, which is number 6 in the series. So I read the first 4, 5, half of 5, 70% of 5 before starting booktube, and went through them all in like 3 days, and then finished book 5 sometime last year, and then now I have book 6. So this is by Jolie Sue Burkhart. It is smutty. It's reverse harem. So she is a vampire queen. She didn't know this. She grew up as human, and she's going to die, and 2 of her knights show up and they make themselves blood. And so vampire queens get a lot of their power from the blood that they take. And so there's a lot of blood in the series. I personally am not huge on blood, and I was fine. But so it continues to grow. More people get added to the harem, and she loves all of them. She doesn't use them just for power. So it's kind of an interesting, very, very smutty. And there's like a lot of mythology. The gods are involved and stuff. And it's just interesting, and I enjoy it. And they're not super long books, so I feel like it's a good one. Then for LGBTQ+, I have The Masked Minotaur by Chace Verity, which is the author of Deal with the Demon. So I have this on my TBR, and then I was thinking, I was like, is this even paranormal? I don't know for sure. But so the main character, I don't know her name, but she married her wife as a marriage of convenience, but her wife doesn't excite her the way that the Masked Minotaur does. And I believe that this is a Zorro type retelling where the wife will actually be the Masked Minotaur. I don't know that for sure. That is what I'm expecting going into it. So I don't know if that's like just her costume or if there's a paranormal element. I'm really not sure, but it's on the list. It's what I'm gonna read for it. And like I said, I did really enjoy Deal with the Demon by Chace Verity, and so I'm looking forward to reading more of their books, and this is what I picked next. And then for booktube darling, I'm going to read Kate Daniels' number 9 by Ilona Andrews, which is Magic Binds. So I can't really tell you much about this book, obviously, but Kate Daniels series, she is a mercenary who is middle of the road on purpose so as not to attract attention, and she will end up having a romance with Curran, who is the Lord of the Shifters. He's the Beast Lord, and they meet in book 1, but their romance doesn't really take off until like books 3 and 4. I still really enjoyed the beginning of the series, but it does get progressively better, I would say. They're the best. There's so many twists and turns and things added in, and they really just keep my attention. Really enjoy them. There are 10 books in the series, so I am getting close to the end and would like to finish it within the next couple of months. So book 9, I'm very excited. It is a booktube darling. Honestly, they're kind of the best of the best. If you like urban fantasy romance, Ilona Andrews does it so incredibly well. I can't recommend enough. So that's what I'm going to be reading for the readathon. Is from Monday, May 24th to Monday, May 31st. Monday, May 31st is Memorial Day, and I will be shocked out of my little mind if I manage to read all of these, but I am going to give it a go, so we'll see. I'm really looking forward to the readathon. Last time was a lot of fun, and yeah, it's gonna be a blast. I'm excited for it. So thank you so much to the hosts for creating and hosting another round, and thanks for watching. Bye.